As we prepped to go on this week-long trip, I was thinking to myself, what's my goal there? Everyone was ready to go, excited and full of expectations. But I had no expectations. I wanted to leave myself open for surprises. As a biology major, I've been unsure of what career path I wanted to take in the future, what I was truly interested in. I had an idea, an interest in health and research, and I wanted to explore this by going to Uganda. This is how this experience has shaped my future goals and has become one of the greatest learning experiences in my life. So came the CLIP Global Leadership Program at Maryland. Facilitating my internship in DC for Atlas Corps, I helped a small staff train and lead a group of international nonprofit leaders in issues they were passionate about. One Ugandan student I met told me 1 week wasn't nearly enough to truly experience what Uganda had to offer me. My development plan as a global leader, I wanted to develop myself into something more of a resilient person, readily able to leave my comfort zone and pursue the things I was truly passionate about. To do this meant immersing myself into another world, and that meant leaving behind all the popular perceptions of what was Uganda. We jumped straight into things as we arrived, learning culture and language, seeing the beautiful landscapes all around, and watching the bodas just driving all around you. Such a hard-hitting immersion, this trip being the first international experience since I went to South Korea as a little kid. As we settled in, we went straight into our work, building energy-efficient stoves, water tanks so families wouldn't have to trek long distances for water, and tippy taps to wash their hands. They were long, hard days of work, but very fulfilling, and I was glad we were able to help out the community in some way. Even if they were capable of doing such work, I wanted to let them know we truly cared and that we wanted to make an impact. We built such great relationships with the community and all the people around us. It was very connecting, and I felt as though I could understand the perception, where they were coming from, and how they lived on a day-by-day basis. The work to me, as well as everything else we experienced on the trip, brought me back to a harsh reality that existed and was a constant theme in our trip. Healthcare was what I saw each day. During our break at the lake, we were given an impassioned talk about the HIV/AIDS and its impact on families, orphans, and the environment all around Uganda and the long and sad fight that goes on against this devastating epidemic. I was surprised to hear of how often Ugandans contracted malaria, almost as often as us getting the cold virus. Our host dad himself said he had gotten so many times he had lost count, but he stressed the danger malaria could pose for younger children. Polio, tetanus, typhoid, yellow fever, hepatitis, all prevalent and many in Uganda not vaccinated or without the access to quick and efficient health care. Visiting the traditional healer and seeing the number of people willing to discreetly visit him to receive any kind of health care they could for their family was a saddening and harsh reality to see for all the Ugandans who otherwise couldn't access a physician's care. Visiting the hospital almost every day, although the healthcare workers were extremely kind and helpful, the quality of the facilities is something that could not even be compared. We had heard that many of the highly skilled and experienced doctors ended up moving to other countries to practice, since in Uganda the pay was meager. The Ugandan Minister of State once said we must work together for a healthier Uganda. We continued on addressing different issues. The minister said 38% of Ugandan children are stunted and 16% underweight. The World Health Organization released a report for children under 5 years of age, 23% of deaths were from malaria, 21% by pneumonia, 17% by diarrheal death, and 8% by HIV/AIDS. And for all ages, the top killer by 25% of all deaths was HIV/AIDS. The life expectancy is extremely low. Even the work we did all relates back to health. The water tank provides abundant amount of drinking water that is otherwise scarce when you have to constantly retrieve it from afar. The energy-efficient stoves steer away from open flame cooking, which is detrimental for children especially, who will be constantly inhaling the smoke, and the tippy taps to improve sanitary practices. One way or another, health was paramount to the trip, and to me was the most important concern. When I reflect back, experiencing and seeing everything really inspired me. I'd always juggled the idea, but now I'm certain. I want to go into international health, performing epidemiology research on diseases and healthcare in third world settings. Global health is something that requires strong leadership and understanding of people around you. As I reflect back, I feel as though the relationships I formed with everyone, from our host family to the community members, was what truly opened my eyes to how perceptions differ and what the norm was. We can't presume to be the ultimate saviors of third world people. We can only become a part of the community, build relationships, and fix a problem as if it were your own problem of your own community. That's something that I've learned not only in Uganda, but in my internship working with the international profit leaders. Instead of giving communities abroad money to tackle an issue, we train their own leaders to empower their own communities. Asset-based community development, and that's what Atlas Core always preached. When we gain understanding is when we can truly do something that makes an impact. Health is something that I've always had an interest in, and global health is something that takes more than textbook learning to truly delve into. That's why I hope to continue my experiences in volunteering abroad until I am able to one day become someone that can truly make an impact as a healthcare professional.